Can you imagine that in 2026, the world's only superpower, the United States, could lose a war to a country it has been sanctioning for more than 40 years? This isn't my claim. It comes from Professor Sine, a well-known expert in game theory. Two of his predictions about Donald Trump have already come true. Now the world is waiting to see if the third one will happen. And if it does, the consequences could change the global order forever. Some experts believe this war could trigger a financial collapse so severe that the money sitting in your bank account could lose its value almost overnight. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden strategy that mainstream media rarely discusses. We'll explore how Iran's low-cost drones could challenge America's trillion-dollar military power. And more importantly, is Donald Trump pushing the world toward a catastrophic conflict for emergency war powers or political advantage? Over the next few minutes, you're about to see a side of this story that many people around the world may not even realize. Welcome back to Hidden Truth Hub. Professor Sine's predictions. Professor Sine made three major predictions. The first was that Donald Trump would win the election again. The second prediction was that once Trump returned to power, a dangerous conflict between the United States and Iran would begin. Both of those predictions have already happened, but the third prediction shocked many experts. He believes that in this war, the world's biggest military power, the United States, could actually lose. And according to him, this isn't just speculation. There are several logical reasons behind it. Iran's long preparation. According to Professor Sine's analysis, Iran hasn't been preparing for this war for just a few years. It has been preparing for more than 2 decades. Inside Iran's political and ideological framework, this conflict is often described as a final confrontation with what they call the Great Satan. Over the past year, Iran gained valuable experience from earlier military confrontations. During that time, Iran didn't just attack. They studied the defense systems of both the United States and Israel. They analyzed weaknesses, response times, and military tactics. And most importantly, they used diplomacy to buy time while preparing for the next phase. Proxy strategy. Iran's strategy isn't based on direct confrontation. Instead, it relies heavily on proxy forces across the Middle East. These include groups such as Houthi forces in Yemen, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Palestine, and several Shia militias in Iraq and Syria. Together, these groups have studied American military behavior and response patterns. Their goal isn't simply to defeat American soldiers. Their real objective is to weaken the global economic system that supports American power. Rather than attacking the United States directly, these forces are targeting countries that form the backbone of the global energy economy. These include Gulf nations such as Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Bahrain. Iran's strategy focuses on critical infrastructure, particularly energy facilities and water systems. Many Middle Eastern countries rely heavily on desalination plants to produce drinking water from seawater. In some cities, more than 60% of drinking water comes from these facilities. Imagine a small drone hitting a major desalination plant in a city like Riyadh. Within 2 weeks, millions of people could face a severe water crisis. The Strait of Hormuz. Another critical factor is the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway carries a massive portion of the world's oil supply. If this route becomes blocked or unstable, global trade could suffer massive disruption. Many people assume this would only cause inflation. But the consequences could be much bigger. It could threaten the stability of the entire global financial system. The petrodollar system. For decades, Gulf countries have sold oil in US dollars. This created the petrodollar system. It ensures global demand for the American currency. Those same oil revenues are then reinvested into US financial markets and real estate. But if war disrupts oil exports from these regions, those investments could slow down dramatically. And since many large investments in artificial intelligence infrastructure come from Gulf states, this could even affect the American tech sector. Professor Sine describes the current system as something close to a financial bubble. The drone problem. A major challenge for the United States is the rise of inexpensive drone warfare. Iran's Shahed 136 drones cost only tens of thousands of dollars, but intercepting them can require missiles worth millions. This creates a dangerous economic imbalance. A $50,000 drone forcing the use of a $3 million interceptor missile is not sustainable in the long term. Over time, even powerful military systems can become financially exhausted. Asymmetric warfare. Modern warfare has changed. Today's conflicts are increasingly asymmetric. This means cheap weapons can defeat expensive systems. A simple drone equipped with GPS coordinates can travel hundreds of kilometers and strike its target with surprising precision. And because these drones fly very low, they are difficult for radar systems to detect. This new style of warfare is forcing militaries around the world to rethink their strategies. Political motives. Professor Science believes several factors may be influencing American political decisions. One factor could be overconfidence. A previous successful operation might have created the belief that a larger conflict would also be easily manageable. Another factor could be political advantage. Some analysts believe geopolitical tensions sometimes strengthen political leadership during times of crisis. But these interpretations remain highly debated. The bigger question. At the end of the day, one question remains. Can the world's most advanced military power defeat a strategy built on low-cost technology, proxy networks, and economic pressure? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a completely new era of global power? If these predictions come true, the world could move toward a multipolar system where no single country dominates. And that would mark the end of a geopolitical era. What do you think? Is this prediction realistic, or just another dramatic theory? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep analysis, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.